Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And the river of salt is flowing.
Oh my gosh, just don't be a slug.
Don't be a slug. Yeah, it's a bad day to be a slug. We're going to talk about Joker's Oscar backlash. Now, I did a video on the Joker getting 11 Oscar nominations yesterday, and I said to Geeky, the usual media outlets that I expected to have hot takes did not have any hot takes. Something's wrong.
They were too silent.
They were too quiet. Something's wrong. They can't be okay with this.
So one voice will hit, then they all will hit.
And that's exactly what happened. The first one was Slate. I said, wow, I didn't get any hot takes from Slate. Slate had Joker's Oscar nominations are a joke. Stop the madness. This movie is dumb as hell. And it just continued to snowball from there. So before we get into these ridiculous headlines, please subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We're at about 90,000
So
subs.
close to 100,000, guys. Come on. Subscribe, please. Or tell your friends, or make sure you're still subscribed, because apparently, you know, when you don't say everything that certain people want you to say, people get unsubscribed on your channels.
YouTube's clowning around.
That's right. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. We're not really laughing. But yeah, make sure you're still subscribed. All right, so Slate, of course. Slate, I would not expect anything less from them. Joker's Oscar nominations are a joke. They're a joke, but good news, Slate. Joker is coming back to theaters.
That's right. I sent one of these over to you earlier. They are re-releasing Joker, probably in honor of its nomination, to like 750 theaters. Was it like next weekend?
Yeah, that's a big release. I mean, that's you know, a pretty wide release for a re-release.
Yeah, but I mean, Disney does it all the time, so.
Yeah, well, we need to have a really bad CGI Bane, you know.
But it doesn't fit in this movie.
No, but they can get the extra bucks.
Okay.
The really bad PS2 Bane, but yeah, so they're taking a cue from the Disney playbook.
Yeah, that's right.
For Joker, because they want to make
more money.
We need to make more money. Yeah, we only made a billion.
It's 750 cinemas across. When's it? Did they say when it's going to be? Because I don't know if it was next weekend. I want to say it is
January 17th.
Oh, this weekend.
Yeah.
It's this weekend, guys. Yep. A lot of stuff's going on the 17th. Isn't that when they're opening Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland too?
Yeah, we'll see how many times it breaks down on opening day.
Oh, well, no, we'll see. They might have fixed for that one.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, yeah, so everybody's mad because how dare Joker get nominated and Todd Phillips get nominated, because it doesn't matter how many other men are nominated, it's all Todd Phillips' fault.
Yeah, and this seems to be a recurring theme. Congratulations to those men. What are the Oscars even for anymore? If Jennifer Lopez, Eddie Murphy, Awkwafina, and all of Hollywood's female filmmakers couldn't make the cut despite the behind-the-scenes changes, maybe it's time for the Oscars to stop.
What behind-the-scenes changes?
I don't know, but...
So wait, there was behind-the-scenes changes to try to make it, you know...
less white.
Well, that's fascinating. That's kind of, you know...
That's...
Okay.
That's the my understanding. So the Oscars were meant to be better than the BAFTAs. The BAFTAs were cripplingly, humiliatingly wrong last week.
Because they didn't pick who they wanted.
Yes. So the Oscars were supposed to be better. After being on the receiving end of a number of backlashes, they had recognized their failings, changed up their membership, and diversified. Yet somehow they still come up with a list of wash and whiteness.
So basically, wait, let me get this straight. So basically, they changed everything to try to make it so white people couldn't have a say, and it still ended up being white, and they're mad about it.
Blame Hollywood.
I mean, I'm not saying this. That's what they're saying.
That seems to be the complaint.
I'm just translating what they're saying.
We'll see some other headlines that seem to echo that sentiment. Somehow, it's still a list of wash and whiteness, loudness, and angry men. Angry men, of course, being the Joker. We can't have the Joker.
I'm just trying to get my head around this. So basically, you admit that you guys did a lot of apparently they did a lot of things to try to make it more diverse by, you know, locking out certain people and diversifying and changing up who your members are to make them vote the way they wanted. That's what they're saying.
That seems to be what they're saying, yes. Next to the Oscars, this month's Golden Globes seemed comparatively woke, and that's with Ricky Gervais
telling them Hollywood. That just proves, you know, that maybe Ricky Gervais wasn't wrong when he said they pretend to be woke, but they're really not.
I think Ricky Gervais is right. Hollywood's not as woke as they pretend to be.
Because they're the ones those are the people who nominate.
Those are the people who nominate.
It's Hollywood nominating themselves.
All right, this is Twitter strongly reacts over Todd Phillips getting Oscar nod for Joker.
Yeah, you could have just stopped with Twitter strongly reacts. That could apply to anything.
That's going to be our next channel, Twitter strongly reacts.
There you go.
Twitter users called out the Academy for not including any female directors for the Oscar, despite some exceptional women directorial films released throughout 2019. This is Twitter reacting right here. Todd Phillips over Greta Gerwig or Noah Baumbach is a joke. It's all about Todd Phillips.
Yes, that's it. I mean, this is what I don't get. It's all of all the men who are nominated. It's always Todd Phillips' fault.
Why aren't we pushing out Quentin Tarantino? Why aren't we pushing out Martin Scorsese? Why does it have to be Todd Phillips?
Or Sam Mendes? No. It has to be. Well, they won't push out the one for Parasite because it's
they're diverse.
There's diversity.
Yes. Folks are freaking out over lacking female directors being nominated. And I can agree that inclusion is important, but the only director I think being worthy is Greta Gerwig for Little Women, and I'd push out Todd Phillips.
Right, exactly, because everyone wants to push out Todd Phillips because they're pissed about the Joker. And that's the reason they're mad about the Joker is because they tried so hard to get upon their pedestals and tell everybody not to go because they were the moral authority, and because they're the media and they're the tastemakers, everybody was supposed to listen. And what happened was Warner Brothers and Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips basically told them all to shut the hell up because they don't get to sit there and dictate this kind of stuff, and now they're pissed and hate it more. And
Warner Brothers went on to make $1 billion+ and walk off with all kinds of awards, and the media can't stand it
because they're the tastemakers and they're the ones who are supposed to tell you what to think, and you didn't listen to them. Now they're even more pissed.
So there were literally 2 salty tweets. Well, we've got some more, but we've got some people who are actually reasonable, understand the dismay of a lack of female representation, but don't understand why all the anger is directed at Todd Phillips.
Exactly.
Just because it wasn't diverse doesn't mean Todd Phillips didn't deserve the nomination.
That's where I'm at. I'm just like, do I think there should be more women nominated? Yeah, I do. But do I think that means that it's all Todd Phillips' fault? No, I don't.
All right, CNN, this year's Oscars are a joke, and it's not being ironic. It's unironically. They're saying this year's Oscars are a joke because reasons the other news outlets were talking about that, it's problematic. That's just all men.
Oh, no, this one I love. This one we have to talk about because their reasons are just beautiful.
Yeah, this is Insider. 6 films that don't deserve their Oscar nominations. Sorry. Not sorry.
The Insider. A website you probably shouldn't read because it's full of crap. Not sorry. Go ahead. Wait till you see the reasons, guys, and you'll see what I'm saying.
All right, here are the reasons. Critics love Joker, but the film's nominations came at the expense of talented actors like Adam Sandler and Parasite star. So, here's the thing. They love Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. Remember when Adam Sandler used to be problematic in a punching bag for all these media outlets?
That's
right. They're all making jokes about crappy Adam Sandler movies. Well, now because Adam Sandler isn't Joaquin Phoenix, you should have voted for him instead.
That's right. And now I'm saying Adam Sandler didn't deserve it because from what I hear, he really did. But I'm just saying, you said he was the one you loved to hate prior. I mean, media loved to hate. And now that they're mad about Joker, he's their golden child.
Yeah, and so see how fickle they are?
That's what I'm saying.
See how fickle they are?
But this next one takes the taco. The Irishman garnered numerous nominations for stars who've already made a name for themselves in Hollywood, instead of recognizing up-and-coming actors. So basically their argument is that people who earned a nomination because they deserved it shouldn't get it if they were older people with, that have been in the industry for years because they're already established. It should go to noobs. Whether or not they deserve it is besides the point. These guys have already got recognized. It's time to recognize new people who were there.
Okay, boomer, get out of the way, you dinosaurs.
Basically, that they deserve it or not doesn't matter. It's just they need to stop getting nominated for those who do because new people don't get nominations.
That's right. Sam Mendes was nominated for Best Director for 1917, but equally deserving female directors were snubbed.
So their argument for why 1917 shouldn't be nominated because equally deserving female directors were snubbed.
Yes.
That's why that's one of their 6 reasons why.
Yes.
So far there's 6 reasons where because we hate Joker, because people who've been around for years and they shouldn't get nominated anymore because they don't deserve it because they're old, and because 1917 shouldn't get nominated because it wasn't female directed.
Pretty much. That is pretty much it. Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood received numerous Oscar nominations despite the fact that there were other memorable period films released last year. That's every year.
Yeah, that's everything.
That's
it's like this one couldn't get nominated because there was other movies that were released this year.
There were 1,000 movies released last year, and one of them should have gotten nominated instead of your movie
because it was also a movie.
It was also a movie, and people worked hard on it.
Wow, I'm just so glad the insider's here with this,
inside scoop.
Yes, with all this, right on the nose reasons that make a lot of sense.
Scarlett Johansson didn't need 2 actor nominations for both Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit.
But they were in different categories.
Yeah, I was confused about that. We talked about this before we recorded, and I was like, wait, they nominated her twice in the same category. You're like, no. One was supporting,
one
and
was
one was
supporting,
best.
and one was lead. Then she got nominated for 2 different things, but because Scarlett Johansson's considered problematic to these media people, because again, on their pedestal, they're the moral authority that tell you what you should and shouldn't think, and they don't like Scarlett Johansson because she's actually kind of given it back to them before. She shouldn't be allowed to be nominated for two times, even if she deserved it, because
because Us and the Farewell didn't get nominations.
Because the movies we wanted to get nominated didn't get nominated.
Pretty much. Take it up with Hollywood. Hollywood votes on this. Hey, you know what she didn't get nominated for, if it makes you feel better? Ghost in the Shell. Mm-hmm. And if it makes you feel better, she was going to do that trans movie and she dropped out of it because she knew you guys would tear her a new one. Mm-hmm. You already did.
So she and Scarlett Johansson can act. I mean, that's one thing. She's really good. And I just love this because, she can't be nominated for 2 different categories. I guess that's a new rule. It's funny because we live in this small town. And this reminds me of this. I'm going to tell the story again because it's funny. And a couple, 20 years ago, they had a teacher strike because teachers here are not paid well. And people were writing into the newspaper and they were complaining because they said that there should not be allowed to have 2 teacher households. That if you start being a teacher and you marry another teacher in the district, that one of you should be fired because or quit because you shouldn't have 2 teacher households because it's not fair that 2 people get. It wouldn't make a difference in how many people got paid, but because it's in the same household, that shouldn't be allowed because that's one job taken away from somebody else when you already have one person in the household that works there.
Only in Western Pennsylvania. Could teachers be held up as an example of people who make too much money.
And
I'm just.
There's Olympians that compete in multiple categories or multiple events. What if they won more than 1 medal?
They have to give it back.
How dare they?
It's not fair.
It's not fair because do they earn it? Yes, but it's not fair. That new person deserved it because they're new.
You had 2 medals and I have no medals, even though I don't know how to swim.
I'm just saying, the logic on that one was just out to lunch. Anyway.
Esquire, the very white 2020 Oscar nominations deserve all the hate they're getting.
This whole argument about them being too white, I've heard this time and time and time and time again.
Well, you're going to hear it more times because the salt keeps flowing.
But it's Hollywood who picks these.
I know. They don't seem to understand that. Comicbook.com, Joker director Todd Phillips trends after no women are nominated for Best Director Oscar because of all the men on that list, it's Todd Phillips' fault.
That's what I don't understand. That's what, I mean...
No, it's because they hate the Joker.
Yeah, but what media does. Because, again, the media had already decided, these journalists, quotes, have already decided that their platforms and their personal pedestal for them. That's why they get these jobs on these blogs or news outlets. It's their personal pedestal to scream all their personal political views and opinions from. And the Joker didn't go along with their political views and opinions, and they kept making these erroneous connections to things that it wasn't even connected to, and which they got shot down on. And then they got told to basically shut the hell up and take a seat because that just because you're the media doesn't mean you get to have your way with everything. And now they're doubly pissed.
Well, that's what this whole thing is about. They tried to destroy the movie. It backfired, and now they look really, really stupid because not only did it backfire, but it walked off with a bunch of nominations. It wasn't supposed to get this far, so now they got to throw shade at the fact that Todd Phillips dared get nominated. The Joker dared get nominated. We've got Twitter. Todd Phillips getting nominated over Greta Gerwig will be my Joker origin story. And
he's going to go shoot people up because that's basically what he's saying.
That's basically what he's... Yeah, that seems to be the case. Time's Up Now. Time's Up Now is, I think is Gina Davis part of it? I
don't know.
But I think she was. They were the Me Too organization, saying that only 5 women directors have been nominated in 92
Well,
years.
that is kind of a problem. I mean, as a woman, I do agree that we need to have more women nominated, but I think it comes down to an issue where, women weren't, until recently, given as many opportunities necessarily to direct things as men were, because people erroneously thought women couldn't do it. But there's a difference between being able to do something, it should be judged based on the work, not based on, whether you're female or male.
Yeah.
Whether you're black or white, whether you're whatever.
Yeah, and that's, that should be the equality that everybody is striving for, but that's not, people don't want that. I think a lot of people don't want that. I think people want to have a leg up.
They wanted revenge. They don't want equality.
Yeah.
And again, who nominated these movies that picked all these white people that you have a problem with? Hollywood themselves.
Hollywood
They vote
claims
and nominate for their own.
Hollywood claims to be quote unquote woke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
The other article just went on just saying about all the changes they made to deliberately stack the deck to change it, and our stacking the deck didn't change anything. Oh my God, we tried to cheat the system and it didn't work, and they're all mad about it. But blame Hollywood. Blame Hollywood.
Here some people are saying that just because Greta Gerwig should have been, I think it's Gerwig, for Little Women should have been nominated, doesn't mean you have to push out Todd Phillips. Yeah, everybody's got a hate on for Todd Phillips. They're not, now here we have one calling out Quentin Tarantino, but pretty much everybody is just like, Todd Phillips, oh my God, get rid of Todd Phillips.
God, get rid of half these media outlets.
Yeah, here somebody says that Little Women is fine, but not great. Joker is gorgeously filmed, full of iconic scenes with every line being a quote. So they're targeting Joker specifically. You don't see them targeting the Irishman.
No, they're not targeting these
1917. They're
1917 shouldn't have got picked because there are other women, and the Once Upon a Time Hollywood shouldn't have got picked because there's other period films.
Yeah.
I mean, this is dumb. I think women should get to be nominated more often, yes, but I don't think it's right just to nominate someone because they have boobs either.
Well, but boobs can open a lot of doors.
Yeah, apparently.
They can. Just ask Terry Gilliam. Oh, don't ask him, because he'll tell you what he thinks, and then the news outlets will run with it. BuzzFeed, 18 tweets about celebrities who did things more impressive than Joaquin Phoenix dislocating his knee in The Joker.
But he didn't act like he did something impressive, did he?
No, he actually was very humble. He gave an acceptance speech for the nomination, thanked everybody. Seems like a pretty humble guy. Seems like a humble guy in interviews. He's a little strange, but he seems like he's pretty humble. He
just got arrested for protesting for climate change.
Yeah, like...
I mean, yeah...
alt-right Yahtzee.
Damn guy. I mean, he's just an actor. People don't seem to understand, and we see it with Star Wars and everything else too. Actors are not the characters they play.
They're not?
I mean, I'm just telling you. He played this character because he thought it would be a challenging character, which it is a character. A good actor wants to do characters that are outside of who they are. That's why they take these, and they're challenging roles. That's why they get nominated for awards, because they took on challenging roles. Just because you play this character doesn't mean that he believes in the same things the character believes in.
No. Radio Times, Joker's Awards Blitz is a triumph of style over substance. Finally, a comic book movie might sweep the board during award season, but it have to be this one?
What they wanted, Captain Marvel?
Probably Black Panther, Captain Marvel. Yeah, I'm like, come on.
That gets me too. The Hollywood and they're all in the media. Media is always screaming about something. They're the tastemakers, don't you know? Last year we had Captain Marvel and Alita at the same time. What the takeaway for me was, heck, two strong female-led films that are kick-ass films with women. That is a win, according to everything they've been screaming from the rooftops they want. It was a win. It was a win-win. You got two at once. Holy shit, that's amazing. But no. Then they decided to throw shade at Alita because they were trying to boost up Captain Marvel. Because some men liked Alita, and if men like that movie, it doesn't matter if it's actually a truly diverse cast and a female lead. It's obviously terrible because you don't like Carol.
Yeah, one of those movies was more diverse than the other. Guess which one it was?
Right. And I'm just saying, you sit there and you say you want diversity, you say you want more female-led films, and then you get it, and then you're still pissed about it.
That is the way of things. This is the way. This is the way of Twitter. The Guardian. Colossally overrated Joker beneficiary of BAFTA Awards groupthink. Supervillain origin story crowding out better films while the lack of diversity in the acting categories is infuriating.
Is this written by that guy?
I think
Yeah,
so.
he looks like a fun time. I like how they talk about groupthink, because when I think of groupthink, I think of these media outlets.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Borg pushing for individuality, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
A little bit. So,
Pretty much.
Comic Book Resources, even a month ago, they were saying the Joker didn't deserve the Golden Globe nominations. They have been, look, all these media outlets have been crying about the Joker getting these awards. They can't stand it because the movie they have a problem with. They have a problem with the movie. Now, they also said, now it depends on the author, right, on Comic Book Resources.
Yeah, they contradict themselves all the time.
Well, it's because you've got multiple journalists on here, no, air quotes again, journalists on here, but Joker's 11 Oscar nominations, a turning point for comic book movies. I don't consider the Joker a comic book movie.
It really wasn't.
It really wasn't. Like, you could take the Batman connection out of it and it would have changed the movie at all. It really wouldn't have. So, this one takes the taco, though. This was sent to us by a viewer, Molly, on Twitter.
Hi, Molly.
Aquaria, blue check. Straight white men don't need Oscars even if they worked hard. Maybe a few as a treat, but that's more than plenty.
Or as a treat.
As a treat.
Okay. Someone must have called them out.
They did. I'm joking. It's not racist. Equal rights as straight white men can lick my boots. You're a troll account with one follower, but it's okay to be racist to straight white men. They can take it.
Well, here's the thing. I am going to say this. I am so tired of hearing racist, bigoted comments about, like, I mean, I got called a misogynist, all kinds of stuff just because I didn't like a movie. I got called a bigot because I didn't like a cartoon. And what bigotry means is intolerance towards anyone who doesn't believe what you believe. And most of this phobia, isms, and bigotry that I've seen are people, basically shouting because, you don't be racist against us because of the color of our skin, as they're being racist against people who are white. We don't have any more control over our color of skin than you do. I mean, it's just what it is.
Except for me, I'm a chameleon. I can change my color.
And I'm sorry, shitty behavior is shitty behavior. It doesn't matter what side you're screaming about. It's still bad behavior, and it's still those things that you're saying you're against. You are embodying. It just it doesn't just work one way because it's okay to hate on that group of people.
Shit comes in all colors, especially if you eat Fruity Pebbles.
That's true. Or if you eat blue icing.
That's true.
Comes out green.
Grape juice. Mm-hmm. Anyway, wondering if some fungal humans just search things words goddesses like myself and others tweet just to pick fights like, is it your inalienable right to stay silent and not tell me about racism against whites or other phobic nonsense, save it for your diary?
Wait. So it's not, I still love that. It's not, when you're being racist, it's not racist because if it's a white person.
You're
complaining about.
Exactly what
it's not sexist if you're talking about a man, even though by definitions that sexism is. It's Twitter think. Well, I mean, you can't even really use the word think when you're speaking of Twitter. It's Twitter vision.
Twitter vision. Oh my God, that's what we need, glasses or Twitter vision. It's like everything you look at suddenly becomes problematic.
Or no, even better.
Everything.
You take these tweets and you put on your Twitter vision glasses, and that'll just translate it to whatever they're actually
somebody
saying.
Needs to make that. I would totally back that Twitter vision.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter vision.
I can say what I want because it's Twitter vision.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this one up. I'm sure there will be more salty articles in the weeks to come leading up to the Academy Awards. And oh my God, can you imagine if Joker actually wins?
I don't know if people are going to vote him to win because they're so afraid of the backlash they're going to get from the media. That media doesn't actually really matter.
Warner Brothers told the media to go piss off. So you know what? They might, just to send a message. Mm-hmm. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Maybe.
They might be like, we don't need you anymore, media. You were useful, but now you're not. Mm-hmm. So
you're useful as long as you play ball, but as soon as you decide you're going to turn against us over your opinions, F you.
Yep, pretty much. So we're going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants.
Yep.
We'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.